Hey guys, so this is a quick video I wanted to make for everybody who is considering buying the DJI goggles or has bought them and is wondering whether these are the only goggles you will need because they can run analog as well as digital. So, I mean, in principle, it would be really nice if these goggles could also replace your Fat Sharks and you don't need any other goggles and you just run an analog module on them and everything is fine. And I think, to jump to the conclusion now, it is pretty close now with the latest firmware updates by DJI. Analog actually runs quite well. Let's say the analog feed itself, the image quality is quite good. There's no latency, that works fine. But for me, after trying this for a couple of weeks now, to really use this as my only goggle, I still have two major points why probably I will remove the analog module and go back to carrying around Fat Sharks as well as the DJI goggles. And these 2 points basically are first sort of the construction aspect, which means, it's just, these have a really good design, and these DJI goggles. And if you want to fit an analog model, you basically have two options. So either you use this iFlight replacement faceplate that allows you to have the module pretty elegantly integrated into your goggles, but it also means taking the whole thing apart. It looks super complicated. If you saw a video on how to do it, it's just a mess. I didn't have the patience to do it. I didn't want to lose the warranty on my goggles. So my hope was that actually just mounting the analog model to the side of the goggles with the UAV adapter will work. And I have to say, it doesn't really, in my opinion. The adapter alone was just a catastrophe because it really didn't hold the module at all apart from through the pins, so I was really worried about damaging the pins. Then what I got was this 3D printed sort of case here, which works okay. I found this on Thingiverse. It's sort of fine. I had to slightly modify it to cut away some material here to fit this 90-degree aux cable plug here, but overall, this is pretty annoying for me. This whole how the goggle handles now, it's just annoying. If I want to put it in my backpack, I have to remove 6 antennas. I'm afraid of breaking this 3D printed stuff off, of damaging the module and the pins. It's just, the goggle just uses all the elegance that it has, as well as, a Fat Shark has. It just seems like DIY-ish and kind of wonky, and if I drop this, probably it would break if it falls on the module, so you really lose that, and that's super annoying to me. Something I really don't like. That's the first blocking point for me. And the second blocking point is related to, let's say, how the firmware works around the actual display of the analog FPV feed. And I'll try to capture this on video now by showing you what you have to do in the goggles to get analog running. Okay, so now I'm going to start up the goggles, so just plug in the power. First thing I have to do is wait for them to start up, which is pretty annoying because it takes way longer than it takes on analog goggles. And it's actually, it's not that easy to get the screen properly on camera, but now we've been through the startup process, and what I have to do now is go into the settings, select AV in, and now I'm getting my analog signal. Let me just quickly plug in some quad so you can see something. Alright, that doesn't look too good. That's the wrong channel now. The other annoying thing is every time I switch channels, the whole thing is restarting. I get this quick DJI or sort of restarting. So that's really sort of a problem. If I just touch anything, I get this. if I switch channels, that's kind of a problem. And if it, if I'm not careful and I'm touching some of the buttons here, I mean, I can record now, but if I get into this menu or something while I'm flying, it could make me crash. And I mean, this maybe doesn't look as bad as it feels in the field, but it's super annoying. I had to leave the goggles plugged in all the time because every time I unplugged my goggles, I had to go through this damn menu again to get the analog started. So honestly, that was just super annoying for me. And all these handling things, I mean, it's okay if you're just flying around for fun, but I just imagine that in a stressful racing situation where, it's already annoying enough and you're under tension, and it would just drive me nuts. I cannot imagine flying an FPV race with the DJI goggles. And I'm not a professional racing pilot by any stretch of the imagination, but honestly, I think this would just annoy me too much. I just need to be able to rely on my gear, and as long as these issues, and I think they can be solved with software, clearly aren't solved, I think I will just need 2 goggles, another pair of analog goggles. Alright guys, I hope you found this useful. If you were wondering whether you can get the DJI goggle as your only goggle. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye bye guys.